Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Plenty of Manchester United chat to get through today as we count down, looking towards that FA Cup final. But I want to know how you're feeling. Are you confident? Are you nervous? Let us know in the chat and we will discuss some of your comments throughout today's video. This is all about defying the odds. Can we defy them on Saturday?
Of course we can defy the odds. History is littered with people and teams defying the odds. That's why odds are there. And I think we're going to do it. Well, I'm hoping we're going to do it. I feel as though we're going to do it. Each day now, building up. Yesterday, I was absolutely excited. Didn't sleep for the first time for a while. That's how it's getting me. But that's how a cup final should get you. The odds are against us, but the odds can be defied. And I believe that we're going to do it. I just think there's going to be something special coming out of United tomorrow on that pitch.
Also, we've not got to be naive as well of what team we're actually coming up against tomorrow. It's going to be a really, really tough game if we're going to get anything out of this and we're going to get our hands on that trophy.
Look, you can't deny what we're up against here. We're up against an experienced side of winners. And in that City dressing room, they're winners. There's no two ways about it. You look at the two dressing rooms and you think to yourself, which is the stronger? We know we're not daft, we're not deluded, right? City have got everything going for them in that dressing room. It is a team of winners, okay? United, a lot of inexperience, a lot of people who have been fighting injuries. It's up against us. The odds are against us. Can we defy them? Of course we can. History tells you.
Yeah, Mickey in the chat says no early goals this time. First mission is the 20 minutes without conceding. Also later says, I hope we can get at least 60 minutes with Varane and Martinez as the two centre-backs. I fear our bench isn't strong enough, though.
A lot of hope there. A lot of hope. Can we hold out for 20 minutes? Can players hold out for 60 minutes? Let's hope so. Let's hope we can hold out, but you've got to look at it, okay? Reality. Here's reality. We've conceded 58 goals this season, okay? And that is poor. And what we have to hope for is a strong back, strong midfield who will fight right to the death. Just keep fighting, no matter what it takes. Just get stuck in there and stop that goal coming, especially in the first half. That is utmost. We've not got to concede, but it's going to be tough. We've all seen what's happened all year. Goals conceded. We know there's not been a solid defence right the way through. It keeps changing, right? Is that an excuse? No, it's not, because they're experienced players what have been out on the pitch and they've conceded 58 goals, and that's poor, and it's got to change, and we've got to stop it being 59.
Lee Davis is saying 1-0 Casemiro. I'd expect that to be from a set piece. Always dangerous on set pieces, Casemiro. Dennis Duff says, we are obsessed with sacking Ten Hag. Just get behind him and support the boys. Totally agree with you, mate. If you watched yesterday's video, no doom and gloom on this channel. We're looking forward to that FA Cup final on Saturday, and we'll be doing exactly that, and I'm sure a lot of you's out there as well.
Every Manchester United fan in the world would take 1-0 now. And I am telling you now, if it was 1-0 now and I could take it, I know I would be in that canal with every one of you. Yes. Every one of you would join me in that canal. That's how overjoyed and how much it means to us.
Yeah, I'm just going to go on to a little bit of news today, a bit of a PR day. Some of the United players are coming out, looking forward to that FA Cup final. And we're going to get into what Bruno said today. And he's talked about him basically at Manchester United, and he doesn't want to leave. So I know you've read it, you've watched it with me. What do you think on it?
Yeah, he don't want to leave. He's got everything he wants. He wants to be at Manchester United. I listened to him the other day speak. He's speaking again now. It's a PR day for Man United and Manchester City players. So it's a relaxation day. But he's coming out with how much he wants to be at Manchester, how his family love being in Manchester, and that's good. He also talks about how he is as a person with the team, that is no different when he's off the field. Maybe that might have to be looked at, Bruno. Maybe that's one of the reasons why people criticise him, because things haven't changed. He needs to change, as people say. I do believe he needs to change. I think really when he talks about loving United, I do believe him. You see him on the pitch. He is committed on the pitch. And for a player who gets fouled that much and he doesn't miss a game is unbelievable. I hope he stays. I hope that There's other players brought in with the same work ethic. You cannot underestimate the work rate he puts in and how much it means for him. It's just a pity that what we've seen in a lot of pieces this year, especially this year, how people have not put in the same work rate as him. But tomorrow is tomorrow. It's a cup final, and let's all hope they all raise the bar to the same standard as Bruno. He loves the club. You can't knock him for that. And he deserves to stay here because he is an integral part of going forward next year when all the changes come through. We need someone like him to fight on the pitch, and I hope that they all follow his example tomorrow.
Yeah, he's also talked about being the captain of Manchester United and what it means to him, and he also talked about the fans as well, that the fans deserve honesty, and because we've always supported the team throughout the season as well.
Yeah, the captaincy means a lot to him. You've seen players there in the past with the captaincy, been great captains and all that, but he's proud, and the honesty in him is there. And you don't really get that a lot from players nowadays. And I don't mean just United fans. I mean other players. They do a PR thing. But this is Bruno speaking from the heart on his family, on the captaincy, and how much it means to play for Manchester United and how he wants to stay. And I believe everything what he's saying there.
Do you believe Bruno would have had a sit down, or he may do in the summertime with the manager or the suits behind the scenes to discuss the plans going forward? Because if you do listen to him, especially in this article, and it was a long one, he wants to win, Bruno. He wants to win trophies.
Yes, he wants to win trophies. I think the conversation will start after the cup final next week, not just with Bruno, with a lot of players on people's situation, what's going on the situation with the Erik Ten Hag. I mean, let's get something straight. It's becoming to look for a lot of people like it's another Van Gaal Cup final, a scenario like that. But I don't believe that. I think there's other things going on in and around United, and I think Bruno himself will talk to Erik Ten Hag and sort out what's coming. I think he might know what's coming, and I think Erik Ten Hag knows what's coming. We've seen Erik Ten Hag talk about this summer what's going to go on, and I think a lot of that would have been passed on to Bruno, and I think that one of the reasons is Bruno wants to stay because he knows that there's big changes coming and he wants to be part of it, and you can't knock him for that.
Yeah, Ross in the chat, looking forward to the match, but I'm nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah. Did he say you didn't sleep last night?
I didn't sleep last night.
Yeah, well, let's hope you can sleep on Saturday night. But he says also we need to pack the midfield with energy. A few people earlier on in the chat as well were talking about Martinez and Varane. Seems to be a lot of Manchester United thinks, well, a lot of Man United fans think that'll be the starting two. Yeah,
I think that'll be the starting lineup. It talks about energy. We've spoke about it, and we've got to be realistic here. Some of these players might run out of gas, and what we've got to see is Erik Ten Hag being right on it, and people have been critical of Erik Ten Hag this season on not making the substitutes at the right time. But I think when you look at the last couple of days, I think United have been in a relaxed mood. They've not gone overboard, I don't think, in training. I think a lot of planning will have gone in, and they know what to do. And I think they're also aware of certain players, of where they can get to. But he should be ready. He should know, and he's got to be spot on. So let's hope he's right on it, Erik Ten Hag. Because, when you look at Pep will be there. Pep will be tinkering with the team, trying to change things. If it doesn't go City's way early on, he will be frustrated, Pep, if United keep him out. So you have to keep an eye. Erik Ten Hag has to keep an eye on Pep to see what he does and how he tinkers with the team, and he's got to be right on it.
The thing is, as well, apart from maybe the left-back situation with Luke Shaw missing, this will probably be one of the strongest squads he's got to choose from on a match day as well, with certain players he's actually mentioned will be returning for Sunday as well.
It could be
Saturday, sorry.
Yeah, it could be one of the strongest sides he puts out, but also it's one of those sides what could easily break down. There is a sort of question mark against fitness for quite a lot of players. If you only have to look at the back four, Martinez, Varane there, and if it's Johnny Evans, you have to just look at them three and say to yourself, wow, any of them could break down at any time. And you also,
Sorry to interrupt there, you're talking about a breakdown of fitness. you know, you've also got to look at the mentality as well with this Manchester United squad, with breaking down. You know, the mentality needs to be right, and all the players need to believe that they can win the trophy. If they walk out of there with any doubts, you know, that's going to be a huge problem.
Well, you talk about mentality, them three players alone. Johnny Evans has got the mentality, okay? Some good performances when he's played. Varane has got the mentality. He's done performances. He knows the pressure. And you've got Martinez. Martinez has got the right mentality. Yeah. So what you need is the players around him. And I did mention Casemiro yesterday. He's got the ability. He's got the mentality. He's been there, seen it, done it. And he has to be right on it tomorrow and be faultless, to be honest. Casemiro tomorrow has to be faultless. So you've got the spine of the team there, okay? And they've got the experience. It's just whether they can cope with what's coming at them. And packing the midfield is the right thing to do. It's whether they can last.
Yeah, Tony in the chat says, blows my mind how some of our fans want Bruno to leave. When he's been out the team this season, you see the difference. Without him, zero creativity. You've got to look at what some fans say. Are they true United fans? Are they not looking at what Bruno brings to the team? He brings the energy, he brings the work rate and all that. And it's players around him. And I've criticised Bruno sometimes, sort of saying, why is he playing left back? Why is he right back? Why is he running here and there? Because it's his enthusiasm, it's his will to win. He's there trying to cover the work, what's not happening. And that's a lot of frustration, what comes out of Bruno. And I sometimes have criticised him, maybe wrongly, maybe rightly, okay? But I just look at it and think to myself, it's his will to win. And he doesn't like second best. And he just goes running around and covers people because they're not doing their work. Captain says, glory, glory, Man United. We're different breeds in finals. Plenty of yous getting involved in the chat as well. Let us know what your opinions are on the starting 11 as well and how they're actually going to set up. We did discuss yesterday that we think the way he set up against Newcastle and Brighton, we think that's how he's going to start against Manchester City as well. I'd be very surprised if we actually seen Højlund start. Maybe we need him off the bench with like a Rashford or a Garnacho to try and impact the game.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if he didn't. If he did change how he's set up for the last two games. Yeah. It seems that, to me, it seems the right setup. It's just a pity sometimes we haven't seen that because the work rate and that was there against Newcastle. I think the Brighton game, you look at it, the system was there, but I think it was just a matter of the players, and I did say it at the time, that the players are out there, and the first thing what they've got to do is avoid injury, and I think that's how they played that game. Let's get through it. I don't think they ever thought they were going to get European football by winning, and I think that the priority, and I do still stick by it, the priority for Brighton, right, was just get through the game without any injury, and then obviously the changes can be made as the game wore on, and we've seen what happened when the game wore on. Brighton got tired, and then Højlund come on, and then it all changed.
Yeah, also Andre Onana has been talking about Marcus Rashford as well, saying that he's one of the best players in the world on his day. And what did you think about his comments?
Well, it's an opinion, and everyone's entitled to his opinion, and it is Manchester United Public Relations Day today, pre-cup final. So I think he's just going out there giving nice words and that. I don't know why he wanted to talk about Rashford. He should have been talking more about himself, how he's feeling and all that. But hey, you know, he's put some good words out there for Rashford. You don't expect anything else, and I'm not there to criticise Andre Onana going on about one of his players the day before a cup final. Now, the one thing I will say, you know, some people say Marcus Rashford, one of the best players in the world, and some people say, no, he's just a good player. That's everyone's opinion. We've all got opinions.
I did see a lot of opinions all last season when he was banging in goals, and people were mentioning that he was one of the best players in the world at that time.
Yeah, listen, he was a top goal scorer. There's no two ways about it last year, but things have changed. And the reasons why they've changed, only Marcus Rashford really can tell us why.
What do you think with the lineup on Saturday? Do you think Marcus Rashford will start? Let me know what you think out there. Will it be Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the right, or do you think it'll be different?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think he might be on the bench. I think it might be where Rashford's used for the last 25 minutes if we're in a good position or we need him to come on and do something. But it is down to Marcus Rashford now. This is one game where he has to go out and show his worth and shove it down people's throats. That is finished. That is not good enough. He has to go out there in this cup final, whether he starts or whether he comes on, right, and do the business, just like every other player. When you talk about Rashford, I'm more concerned about Garnacho. I'm more concerned about Garnacho doing the business. Okay, I've been critical of Garnacho not passing the ball. He just seems to be.
It's like running in down dead ends sometimes. You know, keeping his head down. Yeah. Similar to what we've seen Rashford doing for the majority of this season. Yeah. Or is that like more out of frustration, running out of ideas? You know, would you then look across to the coaching staff? You know, for more support? I don't know.
Well, listen, these players don't need support, more support. They get enough support. They've got everything. What it is with Garnacho just seems to be playing for himself at the moment. And that's a pity. I'm actually saying that because his early form and that, he came on, he got took off after a few games, and then he's kept his place. And he was playing well, playing as in the team. But now he just seems to have got down this path of like,
where he wants to like make the headlines himself and score the winning goals, etc. Being a bit too greedy in situations where he should be getting his head up, looking in the box for Højlund, etc.
That's right. And this happens sometimes with young lads, and it's down to the coaching staff and the manager to get that out of him and understand that this is a team game, and the team game is tomorrow is to win and work, score, pass, do everything you can, not just for yourself.
Adam in the chat says, I'm made up. My 2 young daughters finally interested in the footy and want to watch the FA Cup final with me. Come on, 2 new fans in the making. It's always great when the kids start getting into the football as well. I've got a daughter, I've got a son, and when them 2 started watching the football, it is absolutely fantastic. It's a great buzz.
There's no better feeling, and things,
bringing the new generation through.
Watching them go on about United, because then next thing you know, it's questions. Greatest thing is watching kids grow up supporting the team you have all your life. And remember, once they start, it's cradle to grave. They never leave it. And if they do leave supporting Man United, well, I've got no words for that.
Did you feel that way when you see me growing up watching Manchester United?
No, it was hard, you growing up, son. It was hard, it was tough. It wasn't a pleasant experience. It's getting worse as it goes on.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't a pleasant experience my first away game. What was I, 4 or 5 years old at Ibra, watching Arsenal?
You got through out.
Oh. But I wouldn't say I got thrown out, but I think that's a story for another video, to be fair. But and there's plenty of them, to be honest with you.
Life of hard knocks. But hey, it is what it is.
No, I absolutely love it. You've been the best father I've ever had to be. Well, not that I've ever had, that I could have ever wished for. Winning 11 says, stay positive and keep the faith. We're definitely keeping it, mate. We're not too naive as well to see what we're up against in the final, but you've got to believe. You've got to have that enthusiasm, surely, going into it. Yeah. All Manchester United fans should do.
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
Going into the final, what I don't want, okay, I don't want to see a valiant loss where, it was unlucky. We get the chances, we have to put it away. Okay, no one remembers someone coming second. Okay, so a valiant loss is no good for me. I don't want people sort of saying, "Oh well, we was unlucky" or whatever. No, we have to win. Okay, and I'm confident that we can win. That a game plan can be used. Maybe there might be at some point an overconfidence from Manchester City. Okay, because all the negative what's been out there, right? They're not immune to seeing what's been said about Manchester United. The team, the players, the manager, the coaching staff and all that. They might just trot up there thinking, right, here we go, another day at work, let's turn these over. And you have to look at Manchester City. Have they been playing like the great Manchester City, what won the treble? Okay, I don't think so. I think something is different in Manchester City. I see their style of football more playing out on the wings, okay? Not as many crosses as I would expect for someone like Højlund. Things have changed at Manchester City, the style of play. And that's why getting the ball, keep it in the middle and fight and block them out and force them out wide. I actually think Bernardo Silva could be Manchester City's weak link tomorrow. But that's all I see. This is one strong Manchester City side what's got a winning mentality, and United have to stand up and fight, and the fans should be and will be, as far as I'm concerned, right behind them, and let's hope it works.
Big shout that on Bernardo Silva.
No.
I think he's a top class player.
No,
I think he's actually been underrated, really, at his time at City, considering other players that they've bought who've got more of the limelight. But
I'm not knocking him as a good player. I think he's been great for Manchester City, but I've watched him of late. I've seen him get caught with the ball. Okay, I've seen him struggle to chase back. So I'm hoping that he gets caught with the ball and that we exploit the gap if the gap appears. That's what I'm hoping for. I do believe that he's lost a bit of pace and a little bit of that fight. Great player, no two ways about it. Like most of the City players, they're all good players, okay? It's just, as I point out, where can I see a chink of light? I see it there, but that's my opinion.
do you think there'll be any, like, I don't know, marking instructions for Phil Foden? Because in my opinion, I think he's been player of the season. I think he's been absolutely outstanding, unfortunately, for Manchester City. Or do you think United will just go, like, zonal?
I think United...
whoever comes into their zonal area, then they've got to pick the men up.
I think United will just have a tactic. They'll be in the set positions and then just hope that they get a chance for a break, a quick ball through. And what it is, you have to get in that midfield and dispossess their midfield players. Once you do that, right, you create an attacking option. And that's exactly what City will be trying to do to United. It's a matter of not getting caught with the ball. And unfortunately, what you see with United throughout the season, right, is they don't just do the one touch. They do another touch and they feel as though they have to run with the ball. Manchester City play around you and United have to quickly play the ball. It's all ifs, all ifs and buts.
Yeah.
And it's what makes this an intriguing game, the cup final tomorrow. The ifs and buts, and can United lift that energy levels? They have to lift that energy. For us to have any chance of winning that cup, we have to lift the energy levels and we have to not dwell on the ball. Dwell on the ball, bang, City, 3-4 round you. We've seen it all the time. I'm not telling you something you don't already know.
No.
Okay? So it's a matter of United lifting their energy levels up and being quick with the ball and not being dispossessed. Because once United get dispossessed, we get turned and then we're in trouble.
I think set pieces will be important as well tomorrow.
Set pieces are always important, but I think we've got the right men there. If Varane's there and Martinez, I think
Casemiro as well.
Yeah, Casemiro, they'll defend it well. And at the end of the day, if Scott McTominay does play, he is a great addition to any set pieces defending him. I think he's a great interceptor of the ball when he comes back. I've seen it time and time again.
From the set pieces, yeah. I think he's one of the best at the club.
From set pieces, corners, crosses.
Yeah.
Once he's in there, he's there. He's got the ability to cut out. So I'm really, really looking forward to it, but nervous. But I might have a sleep at tea time because I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah. Is it a case of Manchester United sitting back, keeping compact, especially for the first 20, 30 minutes, and just trying to then hit him on the counter-attack? Similar to how we were at the Etihad in the Premier League this season.
I'm not sure about sitting back. I think if you sit back, you actually draw on the pressure, and we have to relieve the pressure. So I think United have to work together as a unit, back four, midfield, going forward together, come back together, and not just fall back and just accept pressure. Once United just keep accepting pressure, as we've seen time and time again, right, they tend to fold. Something tends to happen. And when you've got De Bruyne, when you've got Foden, and when you've got Bernardo Silva there, putting little balls through, looking for little gaps and that, then you're in trouble. So we have to push them forward. Will City close United down? Will United be able to play out from the back? Very, very difficult. How to judge how that's going to be.
Uncle says all bets are off. Sod the media, sod the crybaby fans. United will get the win.
Yeah, United will get the win. I actually had
that winning mentality in that dressing room to come out there and believe that they can win it. I know I've repeated it before in the video, but you know, anything less than that, and then we would be in big, big trouble in that game. Well, like you said, City have got that winning mentality.
Anything less then that fighting spirit, that winning, we've got a chance. We can do this, okay? Anything less, you will see that in the first 10 minutes. Once them first 10 minutes are up, okay, if that mentality isn't there, we'll all know it.
Jungle says, as long as we make a good account of ourselves, I'll be happy. Love to win it, obviously. Let's believe. And that's what it's all about. Like we keep on saying, no doom and gloom. Let's all get up for it.
Yeah, no.
It's an FA Cup final.
All get up for it. What's name it? I've got a scenario here where I'm going to be let down in an instance in the game. I think everyone out there, they'll have little pictures about how the game will go and what might happen. And, you know, I'm just looking at, I go back in the league there, Tottenham and the VAR, where Son got fouled in his own half. We've gone along there and we've scored, and VAR come back and disallowed the goal. I'm just looking for some mad thing for, and I think I said it yesterday.
To go in our favour.
It might go against us, and that's why I don't want to see a valiant loss. I just got a scenario where I see something dramatic happening, and it's a VAR decision, what might go against us, it might even go for us. But it's something like that, or a sending off, and you know, the tackling. Referees, they've been poor against United this year, and that's my only worry. I don't think we won't see the fight. It's my only worry that something outside United players' control will affect the game, and it's the ref and the VAR.
Yeah, Kenneth in the chat says, my only fear is the reaction of the team if they go 1-0 down early doors like last year.
Well, you've got to. That's why I say the first 10 minutes. If we go 1-0 down early doors, you have to see the fight. You have to see where they don't lose concentration on what they've gone out there with. But that's a danger. We've seen it. We've seen a collapse. And against the Manchester City side, the problem you've got with the Manchester City side, once they scent blood, right, they're on you. They're at it, and they will go for that second goal.
Right, okay. This is coming from Jacob Steinberg, a news reporter, who's saying that there's breaking news that Manchester United have decided to sack Erik ten Hag after the FA Cup final. Now, Jacob Steinberg, let me know in the chat, is a football reporter for The Guardian, but he's actually coming out and saying that that decision has been made, that Erik ten Hag will be sacked after the FA Cup final. Get involved in the chat, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts and their opinions are on this. Jacob Steinberg, is he a trusted source, someone you believe in his newspaper reports? But like I say, I've got to read that because that's just come out right now.
Well, that's a major statement by someone who's put his life on the line there. Have they made the decision afterwards? They could have made the decision a long time ago. I have said when new owners come in, they tend to get rid of a manager. Is it true? Is that what's going on? We've heard rumours now all week, came out yesterday about other managers being spoken to. Not too sure who, not too clear on who, but for someone to come out with that, again, the media. Now then, I did say on the eve of a cup final, I generally notice that what happens, the media come at United to upset and unsettle what goes on, okay? This is one reporter from a newspaper who is now saying he has the evidence, okay? What you need to see when you see reports by the media is show us the evidence, okay? Tell us why you know this.
I think Jam United in the chat as well, and it was just, he's actually saying what I was thinking as I was reading it. And he's put laughing faces, like the club are going to tell Erik ten Hag the day before a cup final. You can't imagine, you know, these people coming in, Ratcliffe, INEOS, etc., giving him that news before an FA Cup final, surely.
No, I listen.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I do believe Erik ten Hag knows what's going on at Manchester United, knows what's going on for the future. Look, Raphael Varane come out, okay? Exciting news, he said. Exciting developments going forward for Man United. He understands what's going on. He's been told about the future of Man United and wishes it well with all the plans and everything what's going on. So I do think there's been discussions, not just with Erik ten Hag and the coaching staff. I think the players understand what's going on, okay, what the future holds. And I think Erik ten Hag clearly knows what the future holds, okay? Whether it's good or bad for him, I'm not sure, okay? But the future has been discussed. There has been a full audit right through the club in every department. So this bloke coming out now, I've never heard his name before, to be perfectly honest with you. He's saying,
right, every single journalist out there who reports on Manchester United has come out this week putting uncertainty on the manager this week. I think it was Southgate on Monday, Pochettino on Tuesday, you know, some German kid on Wednesday, then it's been Kieran McKenna in the last 24 hours. None of it right now, I believe, and I don't think any of them actually genuinely know if Erik ten Hag is staying or he's going. And that's just my honest opinion, because like one of the comments said earlier on, I don't think Erik ten Hag would have been told that he's getting sacked after the FA Cup final, before the actual final.
I don't believe any of these reports that they know anything different, okay? And for this to come out is typical media. This is an FA Cup final, and the media are going in on Man United. It was always going to come, things like this.
Media reports like this as well. If Erik ten Hag then goes and wins the FA Cup final, the same journalist will turn around and say, oh, there's been a big U-turn in Erik ten Hag's future and now they're keeping him. Well, that's how they'd spin it.
Well, the media yesterday were trying to push the angle, right, that other people have been spoken to about replacing Erik ten Hag. But, that's what they were saying. But, now it depends. Is he staying if we get in Europe? So, in other words, what he was saying, if United win, United are considering keeping him, right, based on staying in Europe. They don't know. They're all guessing, okay? And they're coming out early, but they're coming out on the eve of a cup final deliberately to go at United. And I did say yesterday, United fans are doing exactly the same, okay? And it is bang out of order. But I don't expect anything else from the media, okay? So I'm not believing anything. We didn't really want to discuss Erik ten Hag's future today, right? Because everyone should be looking forward to an FA Cup final and beating Manchester City. And anything else is just a distraction. And this is what this is. It's another distraction, right, on the Man United fan base, the players and the club. That's how I see it. Absolutely. Typical of the media.
Sakil, hopefully I've got your name right, my mate. It says, what is actually going on? So much chaos and anxiety for both players and manager before a final. All focus from all MUFC YouTubers and Twitter so-called analysts are pushing agendas. Well, we're not pushing for Erik ten Hag out on this channel, my mate. I'm not too sure about other YouTube channels and Twitter. But, you know, if you've actually seen any, just name them in the chat, my mate. It's no problem. Kenneth says, why did they release this news just before the final? We need to remain positive that he will be here.
Yeah, have to remain
sorry. What will be, sorry.
Yeah, listen, what will be, right? And let's concentrate
on the FA Cup final still. It's still not changed anything for me that I want to go into that game on Saturday and get the hands on that FA Cup. No. It's not changed anything. I'm still motivated. I'm still looking forward to it.
I'm more than motivated. Things like this get me more motivated, okay? Things like this get me more motivated for Erik ten Hag staying till the end of his contract. The club is in chaos inside. There's been a review, okay? We are where we are. We all know where we are. We're not daft, okay? But what we've got is a cup final, and we have to put every effort into it. And everyone outside Manchester United is putting every effort into derailing us.
Fedjo, cheers for your super chat, mate. It says, we want Erik ten Hag to be our manager next season with a big love heart. But look, we're not naive to not to know that every football club at the end of the season will have a season review where they all sit down and discuss what's happened in the previous. And I think that will happen, and it'll happen after the FA Cup. But what goes on from there, only time will tell. And like we keep on saying, as fans, we always want to get to cup finals, surely. So let's concentrate on that and make sure that we get that FA Cup.
We're going to concentrate on the cup final. There's carnage and chaos in every club, just a lot more at Manchester United. And that carnage and chaos will carry on. So if anyone thinks, oh, it's right to get rid of Erik ten Hag, the carnage and chaos will not change, right, by changing Erik ten Hag. The carnage and chaos hasn't been sorted out yet, okay? We've got people on gardening leave who are being supposedly caught out working in that, okay? So Jim Ratcliffe, INEOS, haven't even got the people in place to sort the carnage and chaos, what you and I all know, okay? And there's more carnage and chaos, what we don't know, okay, has to be sorted out, and that will take time. And bringing in a new manager, in my opinion, into this carnage and chaos is the wrong thing to do. The carnage and chaos and the right people have to be put in the right place to sort out the carnage and chaos, not a new manager yet, if that's needed.
A lot of positivity in the chat, to be fair, about Erik ten Hag. Our chances as well going into the cup final. It's still good to see that a lot of yous out there are still supporting Manchester United going into that final as well. And I've got that belief and enthusiasm looking forward to the game. But anything to add, though, before we go? No,
listen, as a United fan, it's tough this year. There's no two ways about it. As tough as an experience for a long, long time I've ever experienced. But you have to believe, and I believe in a cup final. We've got to the cup final. Go back to the quarter final. Did many people expect United to beat Liverpool? No, they didn't. But that quarter final shown you that when the team went out there, okay, they all fought and they got the result. They never gave up, okay? And you hope, and I'm hoping, that we can repeat that type of work ethic and the fight, okay? The tactics might be different. We might have to sit there a long time and just accept that we're just fighting to hold on and push them back. It might not be an exciting watch from a Manchester United point of view, but what we have to accept, right, is that the effort is there. And it has been shown. And that Liverpool game shown you that. So that is fingers crossed, I believe, and I also hope that we get the right result. Stick together, Reds. That's what it's about. Everyone out there is against you. And unfortunately, some United fans are as well.
Yeah, I'd just like to finish on a comment. Robert Mansell, most Man United fan channels create negative content with clickbait thumbnails. This is the only one worth watching. Much appreciated, Robert, and everyone else out there who watches, gets involved in the chat and helps support the channel. Now, we will be back tomorrow.
Yes.
We've decided we are going to watch that game. We're going to do a watch-along, whatever you call it out there. But if you want to join us, get involved. Actually, to be honest with you, if you want to get involved in the live chat, make sure you subscribe, because if you've not subscribed 12 hours prior to the video starting, you won't be able to get involved in the live chat. If you are free, you want to join us, come and get involved. And I'm going for the win tomorrow. I'm bang up for it now after listening to that news on Erik ten Hag. I'm bang up for it. I'm excited. The nerves have gone.
Have I got to give a score?
Ooh.
Have I got to give a score? Is that what's happening here? We've all got to give, you know.
Go on then. If you're all out there going to give a score, we'll give a score. I want to see the scores now coming in.
That's pressure, that.
Big pressure. If you want to, yeah, there's some scores going to be coming in here now. So give your score.
I'm going to give a score. That's difficult.
1-0 Manchester United win. That's what I'm going with.
1-0. I'm actually going 1-0. Extra time. 2-1 in extra time.
2-1 extra time. Let us know your scores, your starting 11, and anything else you want to discuss in the chat after the video is finished. We'd love to see you interacting. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. And if you're interested, come and join us for that watch along. Much appreciated, Reds. You enjoy your Friday, and I'm sure the nerves and the excitement will be kicking in once you wake up in the morning. Come on, United!
Let's defy the odds.